More great music for Limerick. Live 95 FM.
Wow, great song, lads. It's a regular here on Live 95 FM. Very, very popular.
Thank you.
You know, that and also Jenny Got Lost in the City, regularly played here.
Yeah.
Two massive hits for you guys. You must be delighted with them.
Yeah, we are, and thank you for the support. The album is out since last month now, and it's been just pretty awesome to get that out in the open, I suppose.
Yeah.
And the feedback's been really good, and we're delighted.
Yeah, and you're playing a massive concert this weekend, part of Riverfest. It's one of the highlights, the Big Top in the Milk Market.
Yeah, we're playing the Big Top on Sunday night. We're all, kind of Limerick lads. We've all lived in Limerick at some point, and that's kind of where we met. And I can honestly say the Riverfest is the best weekend to be in Limerick of any. There's nowhere else in the world I'd rather be on the May weekend, especially if the weather holds up.
Yeah, but look, we've had a few wet Riverfests in the past, and the atmosphere still, it still seems to hold. The May Bank Holiday weekend, I think I remember you once saying as a kid growing up that was sort of special. Did you take part in the May Eve bonfires?
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. You just brought back something. Yeah, I remember I was in talking to you about that.
Yeah. There was a big thing growing up for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. We used to. I was in here talking about doing documentaries about bonfires, wasn't I? Yeah. We used to do it. Myself and Barry used to build a bonfire every bonfire night at the back of the Hermitage in Corbally, and Meadowbrook is the estate next to us, who we had warfare with once a year. We used to burn down each other's bonfires and steal each other's bonfires.
God, you bad man. Of all things you do that. They were our Shelby.
Yeah. The competition was.
If you're listening, I'm going to burn your bonfire.
Those were different times, though. Like, you can't do that anymore. It's almost, I don't know, is it a shame? Environmental rules and all that kind of thing. We had the council on the whole time. Yeah.
When you think about it, that there was 20 kids in our estate, and we were just let off on our own for 3 weeks to collect wood and then start a big massive fire, like the size of a house. It was pretty insane. But
and the higher the bonfire, that was always the thing, wasn't it? To try and compete with the nearby estate.
Yeah, so we never, I don't think it was ever any hassle. We never caused any trouble, and no one ever got hurt. But it's probably better off that doesn't go on anymore.
Well, I mean, it goes on to an extent, the tradition hasn't completely died out. I think you do tend to see a few bonfires then.
You'll always see the smoke, bonfire night.
The local fire service will say it's a busy night for them, all right, but I think the types of things that get thrown on those bonfires has certainly been cleaned up a bit, because sometimes people saw it as an opportunity to get rid of the old mattress or
tax returns.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So, talk to me again about the album. Like, how long does it take to put an album like that together, Barry?
It's taken us the bones of 6 years, really. We started playing around, I think this week, 6 years ago, we kind of got together for the first time. It was a random decision to go into the Curragh Hour and play a few tunes on a Monday night over a pot of tea with no one allowed to listen to us but ourselves. And at that point,
people had phones, because I saw those videos. That got filmed, and it went fairly viral.
A few months later, we decided, because we eventually let people in, but at first few weeks it was just us, and we used to play, whatever folk songs we were into at the time, and then Dara had started writing a couple of songs, and he wrote Golden Rule around that time, which is on the album now. So we progressed quite slowly over the last few years. It's a random collection of instruments, as you can see, so it's taken us a while to hone in on that in the studio. So we've just gigged, I think over 700 gigs in 5 years in 5 continents. We've travelled the world, and it's been incredible, but it's taken us that time to kind of develop our sound to what we wanted our first studio album to sound like. And there is a lovely connection between what Dara wrote back then and the next song we're going to play for you, which we wrote in January over a couple of days, because we wanted one more kind of, a different sound to a song on the album as well. So there is a nice blend of what we started with to what we have developed into, both folk and electronic, I think.
You've travelled the world in those 6 years. You've also worked with some pretty big names. You've worked with Gavin James, Riptide Movement, The Walking on Cars, the Pogues, all of that. Are there any artists left that you would really like to work with?
Yeah.
Not really.
Where do you start? Yeah, we'd love to collaborate. I think we have very different tastes in music, so I think
Is that a struggle if you have different tastes?
Yeah, it's both the probably the best and the hardest part of being in this band is that you have to try and satisfy 5 tastes in music and try and blend them. And it is interesting when you sit down and try and work and write in that way, but I think it brings out the best in us as well, because you're bringing 5 quite passionate people's opinions to the table, and it makes for a very interesting boiling pot.
So who would you most like to work with?
The Rubber Bandits.
A great collaboration.
Geez, I don't know. I really don't know. I love... I love Mick Flannery. He's a guy that I love, an Irish guy that I'm obsessed with. So someone like that would be pretty cool to start with.
Do you think, Dan, that this is sort of a golden age for Irish music? Because some of those names that I mentioned, like Walking on Cars, and there's yourselves, Codaline, are doing so well. The last time I remember, and maybe it's just because it was the age I was when I was in school, you know, you had the Stunning, you had Something Happens, you'd Cry Before Dawn. I thought it was a fantastic time for Irish music. This, in my mind, now maybe it was because I was growing up, there was a bit of a lull in between, but we seem to be back in that now.
Yeah, there's a kind of a rich and fertile music scene going on. It's crazy. I mean, I think it started with the likes of Hosier kind of going worldwide about 2 years ago, and Codaline, but since then it's just it's incredible. And I think the limelight is kind of on Ireland in terms of internationally, like labels and audiences are looking at Ireland, and it's made for pretty fertile breeding ground for the likes of us then, and just, you know, that's kind of why we can gig and why we can get some of the exposure that we have.
Hosier is a name now. Would you like to work with him, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. He's very talented. We've met him a couple of times. He's a really cool guy, and as I said, yeah, it kind of just raises the bar for everybody, doesn't it?
It's a small country, though. That kind of helps as well. What do you think yourself, Dara? Like, you know, does it make it easier to meet other artists and perhaps collaborate?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. As you say, it's a very small circuit, so pretty much anyone in Ireland, we've met them all at this stage, because it is very small, and that's kind of the way it is. So it's great. It gives you a lot of opportunity to collaborate and do different gigs, like the gig you talked about the last time we played the Big Top with Gavin James and the Riptide Movement was amazing. So we did a song at the end, and it was a really good experience.
It's a pretty super venue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's deadly. I love it. Even on a general Saturday morning, we all love it. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Question for you: do you think dogs should be banned from the milk market? Sorry, no, I'm not going there. We were talking about that on the first hour. Listeners, loads of people saying health and safety, hygiene, whatever.
Is that what the consensus is? That it's a no?
I don't know whether you can decide what the consensus is for Limerick based on our texts. Perhaps you can. A lot of people saying they can see the reasons not to ban them, and then other people saying, you know, that no, that it would change the atmosphere. I'm on the side of no, bring your dogs, just control them, bring your dogs, and exactly. Adds to the atmosphere. So the album itself, is there anything you can say to kind of describe the sound of it, Barry? I mean, we're kind of familiar with, you know, the folk aspect, but are there any surprises on the album?
Yeah, I think we've brought a piano into our sound since the Live at Whelan's album. We now have Dermot is onto a full drum kit, Dara is onto half a drum kit, so we've pretty much 2 drummers. Dan has gone a lot more electric. So there's a lot of changes since Live at Whelan's. We've really wanted to capture like a stadium like sound, you know, and that's the kind of way we're writing at the moment as well. And it just, you know, we want to play in stadiums. I won't lie to you, like that's kind of the way we look at our future. So we've written songs like that, but we still can. I love the way we can play in small theatres as well at the moment, and play our more acoustic stuff that transfer quite well into the stadium stuff, and then we'll play the Big Top on Sunday and try and blow the roof off the place. So
yeah, so people can expect a slightly different sound then from this performance to the last time you played the Big Top.
I think so. I mean, it's 3 years now, 2 years. So yeah, we've evolved a lot. We can kind of play our instruments now, you know, which we weren't. Some of our weren't the best before. No, we've you know, we're a lot more confident on stage and stuff like that, and we're just excited about it. I think that's the way we're going to approach Sunday, is just bring a lot of energy and try and, you know, relate to the crowd that are there and give them the show that they've come to see.
Yeah, and Dan, plans beyond Sunday, what's on the horizon?
We're kind of going to be doing the festival circuit for for the summer, and then possibly back into studio in the autumn.
Okay.
Watch this space.
Down to the grindstone again.
Yeah.
So you're going to play for us in a second, play that song that you mentioned, one of the newer songs you wrote in January.
Yeah.
But before you do, are there still a few tickets available for Sunday's Big Top?
I think so. I think there's a handful left. So if anyone is looking for one, please get them now, because otherwise my phone is going to be hopping on Sunday, and I'm talking to my family mostly here. So that's the way it always happens. But yeah, get them now. I'd say they'll be gone by the end of the day. So.
Yeah, and I'd say it'll be a gig people will be talking about for a very long time to come. So, lads, you're going to play us another one. Take it away.
This is called Not Your Lover.
Every time I look up, you're watching me. Whispers of a longing rise beneath. After the doors close, you go home with someone new, and wonder why they left instead of just holding you. I am not your lover, I am just your friend, and you must find another, 'cause I can go through this again. You wake in the morning, you'll know, this ain't no way. You wake in the morning, you'll know. I wonder if you thought of me today. Living an illusion, you call my name. It's easy for you to forget me and walk away. Move on with your life and then see what I knew you'd say. 'Cause I am not your lover, I am just your friend, and you must find another, 'cause I can go through this again. You wake in the morning, you know, this ain't no way to you wake in the morning, you know, this ain't no way to go. Tears that were shed, words better left unsaid. Hoping you find your way. Ooh. All the tears that were shed, words better left unsaid. Hoping you find your way. Oh. Hoping you find your way. Oh. Hoping you find your way. I am not your lover, I am just your friend, and you must find another, 'cause I can go through this again. When you wake in the morning, you know, this ain't no way to when you wake in the morning, you know, this ain't no way to go.
Wow, lovely, absolutely lovely. That's really looking forward to that, making our playlist fairly soon,
Nice
lads.
one.
Congratulations.
Thanks
And that show is on, gigs on May 1st, this Sunday,
night, yeah.
Big Top.
Doors
at
at 7
Market.
bells, support by Limerick Men of 20 and Lisa Canny.
Okay, fantastic. Hermitage
Thanks a
Green,
million.
thanks.
Cheers.
More great music for Limerick. Live 95 FM.